Hi, how are you?
In the last tutorial, I showed you how to make a character walk just using motion tweens. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do something very similar, but using something called the bone tool. And the bone tool can be very, very neat, although it does have some glitching aspects to it that sometimes make it frustrating to work with, but it can be a really cool tool to use. So I'm going to show you how to do the walking cycle, or not the walking cycle, I'm just going to show you how to make the character walk using the bone tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've double clicked into the Mello character nested scene, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave arms and one leg in there, so I'm just going to turn off leg 1 and I'll create another leg with using the bone tool. So to do that, I'm going to create another layer. So I'm going to click here and I'm just going to call this one leg 1 bone, so that I can tell the difference between leg 1 and the bone tool leg. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw the leg. So I'm doing this as if I was going to be starting from scratch. Of course, I wouldn't use the other leg then. And I'm going to use the brush tool. Again, you could use anything you want. You could use shapes and so on to create the leg. I'm going to do this fairly quickly. And then you could just draw the rest of the leg and have it all be as one, but when you draw it here, as soon as I draw something, it becomes a part of it. If it touches, it's going to become a part. If I was to select here, then that's all one item. So I'm going to undo that, and that will work. However, sometimes you get some weird things happening, not really weird, but you'll get some deformation happening in the limbs if you have it all as one. So you could certainly try it. It's the fastest way to do it. But I'm going to instead show you using each portion of the limb as a separate symbol. So I'm just going to draw them separate from each other enough that they're not touching. And I'm just doing this quickly. And now I've got all three parts. What I'm going to do is turn each one into a symbol. So I'm going to click on this part and convert to a symbol. And I would change its name, but I'm not going to right now just because I'm in a hurry. So that was symbol 1. Convert to a symbol. Again, make sure they're all graphics. And then I'll do the last one here, convert to a symbol. And take the time to name them, though, if you're doing that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those together so that it looks like they're one. And slide that together. Something like that. Okay, so now I've got something that looks like it's one leg, and again I've got everything else locked or turned off. Actually, I don't have leg 2 locked, so I'm just going to lock it. It's well worthwhile locking other things when you're doing selections. And now I can just select everything there to get all three symbols. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn that into oops, sorry, I shouldn't have clicked there. I'm going to right click and go to convert to symbol. I'm going to create a new symbol. I'm going to call this leg bone moving this time, so I can again tell the difference from the other one, and say OK. So now I've got this symbol. I'm going to take the anchor point and move it up towards where the hip would be, something like that. It would be nice to move that over just slightly. If I zoom in a little bit more, it may allow me to do a better job there. Just trying to snap, but something like that is better. Okay, and it doesn't matter too much at this stage. And now I've got this symbol, so I'm going to now double click into the symbol. And then what I'm going to do is, this is where we start to use the bone tool. So down here is the bone tool. If not, you can just type M on the keyboard. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out really what would be like the skeleton, the bones within the body. So I'm going to click here. and see if it'll let me put another one in here. No, it won't let me put another one in there. I'd have to put another dummy object here in order to get the next one in, but this is going to be fine for what I'm doing right now. If you were to put a dummy object in there, then you would just put it on a guide layer that won't be seen. But that's fine for right now. Now I'm going to notice that it's changed. It's put another layer in here. It's called armature. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I think I wanted the walk part of the half of a walk cycle to be 10 frames. That's what I did in the other one, so I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to hit F5 or insert or right click and go to insert frames. Notice that it's green here. What I'm going to do is in the first, actually, you know what, I should have done that first, but I can just go back to here. I'm just going to slide back on the armature layer. I'm going to click on the selection tool and click on it here, and notice that the bones show up again. Now what I can do is I can drag these, okay? And you can get some weird things happening, all right? So, but you play around with it until you get it into the position that you want. So I'm going to do something, maybe something like that. And if I hold my shift key and hold this, it'll rotate about that joint as opposed to the whole thing moving. Okay, and then again, if I want to grab the bones, I can, okay, and try to get it into a position that I like. And I'm not going to worry too much about getting it exactly like the walk cycle right now, but I'm just going to play with it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to click and grab the bones, and I'm going to take it through. Oops, and again, playing with it can be a little tricky. I want to grab this and get it into rotating the way I want it to, and I forget which way the foot should be rotating here. Maybe I want it to rotate a little bit out that way. Okay, and then I can move back in and I can put in poses anywhere I want. So just move it to a point here, say at frame 5, maybe I want it at that point to be touching the ground, so I can click on it at that point and virtually straight. I don't think I'd want it completely locked. So just a little off of straight there, and then again I could take the foot and rotate it up, okay, and then I could move it along just a little bit, and you'll see that it's trying to figure out what to do, and I don't mind that too much. I'm just going to take the foot and rotate it a little bit more, and that's not too bad. So now that I've got that, now I can go back to the Mello character, and now we've got. How are you? Now we've got the. How are you? Okay, they're offset right now. Obviously, I haven't got that. Oh, I forgot to. Sorry, I should have copied that and reversed that as well, because I need to take it back the other direction as well. So I should have gone to frame 20 and done all the frames in between. But just because I'm trying to keep this short, you can see how that works and how you can get pretty good with this. And again, anytime I can go on, just click on the bones if I don't think that looks quite right, and change it again and make changes to it. Okay. Just a little hint here, if ever this goes away, if you just can't see it yet, you know it's there, sometimes what you need to do is to delete this layer. You just drag it down to delete and then go to edit, undo, and it'll put it back in again and it will show up. Don't know exactly what causes it, but sometimes it glitches like that. So if that happens, try that little trick and see if it works for you. I'm going to leave it there, I think. And again, if I was going to take a little bit more time, I would get the legs to work in unison with one another and make it so that it looks right. Right now I've got it jumping and then it's come back. So hopefully this is of help. You can even use the bone tool in things that aren't limbs. If you just want to make some, if you try it on the rectangle, just do a bone tool on it and see what happens. Then you can get it wiggling and doing different things that you want to do. So it can be used certainly for more than just limbs as well. All right, I hope this has been of help.